When I first came into the program, emotionally I felt tired, depressed, and overall unhappy. I questioned my I can do it attitude, which everybody pretty much knows me for. I felt like nobody understood really how I was feeling. I didn't feel I could be accountable for my own actions when it came to diet and exercise. I had tried numerous amounts of times. My body felt sick as well. I had digestion issues. I didn't feel confident in what I was wearing or the way that my body looked to me. I couldn't enjoy watching movies without falling asleep because I would eat foods that were bad for me, and as a result I would just fall asleep on the couch. And that was actually due to my food choices, obviously. And so I couldn't enjoy a normal daily life without giving myself diabetic injections and taking oral medications on top of everything else that I was doing during my day. So my blood sugar was completely out of control. I was taking 10 to 15 injections a day along with taking oral medications on top of that. I got tired from time to time, and so when I would stop my injections as well as my oral medications, my blood sugar was running at 343 on average. And for those of you that are not familiar with diabetics, we normally have to stay below 120. So being 343 fasting is not really good news for diabetics. It can lead us to a lot of things like going into diabetic comas and things like that if it's fully out of control. So when I would stop my meds, obviously I would end up in the hospital with things like pancreatitis. And pancreatitis, if you've never had that, will leave you in the hospital for a month and a half. And then obviously that would happen to me at least once a year. And that was because I wasn't compliant with any of my diet. And I could have controlled it all with my food choices. I just did not have the willpower to do so. Being under care has changed my life. I was hardcore skeptic because I thought nobody's going to be able to change my habits. This is just me and that's it. And the program gave me great food to eat. I had things like strawberries, blueberries, oranges, veggies like carrots, and trying to think here, meats like my ham, steak, chicken. It was all really great food. I've tried every other diet there is. I lost a lot of weight when I tried things like my keto diet and things like that. The weight loss was great, but it wasn't anything sustainable. And I finally found something sustainable that worked for me. And I was held accountable for my actions and able to track my food and my weight loss. And I was encouraged throughout the program daily. So I also was introduced to people who were going through a similar journey, and that was really, really important to me. These people who I was introduced to were okay with me saying, I can't do it today, or I want some Jack in the Box, or I want McDonald's, or things like that. And they were there for me. I mean, there were days where I felt like I just could not do it, and I was able to reach out to a community of people who were actually around even in my area and could understand what I was going through, not just my typical, going to my family or things like that. They've heard me a million times over saying I can't do it. And they kind of were helpful for me, but at the same time, this community understood the journey that I was going through. And really, they were even willing to share their journey with me, and also able to share the different foods that they were making that I couldn't even think of. And even though it was within my tracking system, all these great recipes, people were sharing other ideas that they had as well. And so I had so many tools at my fingertips, and it was really helpful for me. And my mind and my body at that point were just ready to have the change, to make the change. And today, I am happy to say that I am completely off all of my diabetic medication. I'm considered a controlled diabetic at this point. My A1C is under a 7, which is great. I'm well on my way to keeping the weight off, and I've lost weight and I'm just looking forward to staying off all of my medication. That was the biggest thing for me, but the weight loss has also shown tremendously, and I'm able to see that on a graph going down for myself, which gives me that I can do it. I feel good about my accomplishments under the program. I'm excited to be here today to share my truths with you and to show that it's possible to begin living a new healthy lifestyle. I will say that if I can do it, anybody can. I know that's a famous saying, but truly I have been skeptical from day one, and I'm able to not only prove it to myself, but to other people as well, that you can do it as long as you're putting your mind to it, and just staying compliant is really important. And just to know that even though you're going through what they call a diet, it's really not a diet. It is your change of life, and your change to a new you. You can go from feeling like me, very dull, to where I am now, where others can see a light in me that wasn't shining as bright as it could have been before. And so know that you can't make it happen unless you're willing to put time into what matters most, which is you, because the more that you give yourself, the more you're able to give to others.